Triodosbank. Er zijn 4 wachtenden voor u.
For example, if you're into weapons or the bio industry, it's impossible to get a loan from us.
Recently, we see more and more companies being founded with a sustainable mindset, such as Tony's Chocolonely, Green Choice, Fairphone, Dopper, and Athletics. In this documentary, we show the origins of this trend. Here, we look at both the role of consumers and businesses, who are crucial drivers of change. Additionally, we discuss the forces that come into play and how the companies are dealing with the situation. Furthermore, in this documentary, we have incorporated clickable links, such as this one, which allow us to form a deeper understanding of the theories that we briefly touch upon in the film.
Yeah, I don't know if you read the news about that Dakota pipeline in the
Yeah.
in the US. We would never do something like that.
I'm Neil.
Hi, I'm Jasper.
And welcome to the Sustainable Dilemma.
Goedemiddag, Triodosbank. U spreekt met Sjoerd Visser. Bedankt voor het wachten. Goedemiddag, wat op? Matthijs.
And I was just interested in setting up a bank account. But when I was looking at your website, I saw that you claim to be like the world's most sustainable bank. And in England, like, we don't really have any sustainable banks. So I was just wondering, how you can, how this works.
Because you would like to open an account with us, is that correct?
Yeah. I was just interested because sustainability seems to be your main driver, and I was just wondering how you maintain completely green energy.
Okay.
Throughout history, almost all businesses have faced a seemingly continuous struggle, amidst providing both for its people and the planet of which we live and rely on. For a long time, the conventional way in the capitalistic society to measure success has came down to profit maximization. KPMG, for instance, showcased that 41% of their earnings of businesses maximize the profit at the expense of the natural environment. But recently, we see that this notion has become more and more damaging to our planet, where prior concerns of climate change have really developed into real-world issues. This has driven the concept of something called a triple bottom line, where social environmental factors are now considered alongside economic ones. These ideals are now receiving more and more attention from the public. In recent times, we see a trend where sustainable thinking has really entered the mainstream. Before this, sustainable ideas were only discussed at UN conventions, such as the 1972 UN Conference on the Human Environment held in Stockholm. However, we now see that the concept of sustainable development is now on both the minds of the consumer and businesses. Sustainable development can be understood as development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. Are you more likely to go for the sustainable product, or does it not? Do you not think about it?
In general?
Yeah.
I do try to think about it, but for instance, but there is a limit. For instance, I do my shopping at Albert Heijn, which I don't know. I don't think of it as very sustainable per se, but it's just by far the most convenient, and also regarding my budget, I don't have.
Yes, I do try to buy as much as organic as possible or fair trade sometimes. So whenever the sustainable option is within certain limits, I'll try to choose a sustainable option.
Concerning consumers, we see that a consciousness has grown, where people now shop with a sustainable mindset. We see this happening from food-based purchases all the way to clothing and electricity. This trend has been highlighted by Spargaren and Oosterveen, who propose ideal types of citizen consumers to drive a sustainable mindset in both businesses and society, using them as an engine for sustainable development.
Green markets, however, are not made up by companies and industries only. They include consumers as well. Consumers, their opinions and their buying behaviors are important, because without increasing green demand, the greening of industry will stagnate. Nowadays, green production follows green demand and not the other way around.
Concerning businesses, fair trade organizations were initially non-profit based, yet in recent times we see more and more profit-based companies entering the field of sustainability. This can be seen where businesses have noticed the change in the globalization of sustainability in the consumer's mindsets. So as you have seen, customers are now willing to give incentives to socially and sustainable responsible corporations. This broad consumer mindset has moved CSR from becoming an ideology to reality. These consumers feel that through upholding sustainable values at their core, they could actually be part of the new wave of businesses that will belong as part of the solution, while still managing to run a profitable business at the same time. So in doing so, these businesses express their sustainable ideas as unique selling points to their customers. We interviewed Clara van Haften from Social Enterprise, who are one of the chasers of the new trend around social and sustainable entrepreneurship.
Social Enterprise NL is eigenlijk een organisatie die de aanjager is van de sector voor sociale ondernemingen in Nederland. Dat wil zeggen dat we 5 jaar geleden zijn opgericht om... Nederland werd destijds de Black Hole of Europe genoemd. Dat wil zeggen dat er heel veel Europese landen al best wel ver waren op het gebied van sociaal ondernemerschap. Zowel qua ondernemingen als qua beleid en policy wat er dan gevormd was. We hebben nu 350 aangesloten social enterprises in ons netwerk. En daar organiseren we eigenlijk van alles voor. Met name om de erkenning en herkenning te vergroten.
However, this development has not always been entirely without flaws, as we can see with big scandals involving large corporations such as Enron, Bernie Madoff, ExxonMobil, and even Volkswagen with their emission tests.
And downfall back in the spotlight.
What has VW been up to? Essentially, the car company was cheating on the very strict emissions tests by getting cars to give false readings. I'm going to show you how it worked.
Of course, the scandals we have shown concern bigger businesses, which have recently incorporated CSR. However, we also see that fair trade businesses themselves face challenges. Here we look to the example of Fairphone, who has expressed their challenges on national television. Fairphone expressed difficulty in setting up their business whilst maintaining their ethical standpoint.
Do you ever think he should have stopped while he was still like the designer instead of the businessman? Because I liked him better than a...
Yeah, I did think about that. Well, it would be a beautiful story if we stopped at the first project. That you had a crowdfunding success, you have the delivery, and it's a good story.
Is it a good story for the 60,000 customers that have a phone and don't have any support on their phone anymore? Is it a good story for the people that wanted to create systemic change and think like, okay,
but
so
that's
they try
where
it
you're
and then
not
they leave
artists anymore. You're being a businessman.
You're in a situation where you find that you have to keep going, and you're basically you get eaten by the system. You were trying to create a change that it feels like you've created a monster.
Concerning the sustainable dilemma itself, even if the company has their best intentions at heart, you still face challenges between finding a balance between ethics and profit. So to explain this, we would like to touch upon a scholar called Charles Lindblom. In his work called The Market as a Prison, he argues that ethics are imprisoned by market principles. Some scholars also call this the green prison.
I know the company needs to survive financially, and it will not be able to sustain the mission if there is no financial support. So that means more phones need to be sold. So we start doing things that's within the system. There are some quick fixes being done so we can deliver the product on time as we promise. We start not to react to certain issues that we see or observe at the factory levels, because if we push too hard, it might damage the relationship with the manufacturing partner. We want to be part of the system so we can learn how to change the system, but we started doing things like other companies within the systems are also doing to be able to make a long-standing phone, which is the company's value. We also have to put some substances that we actually would like to eliminate to keep the good cosmetics look in order to create a bigger market. There are also more waste defects generated in our production process. So that's when I feel trapped, that aren't those the goals that we were set up trying to break, but when are we going to start working on it?
Clara also explained what kind of challenges the companies who are part of their movement face. She said that because the idea of social entrepreneurship is relatively new, they actually face all kinds of difficulties, including getting partners or even funds. This is why she is part of campaigning for a new legal form of social entrepreneurship.
Als stichting kan je weer niet bepaalde investeringen binnenhalen. Dus het is omdat er dus geen rechtsvorm voor is en er nog niet echt een soort van kader voor wat betekent dat dan, is het voor ondernemingen nu moeilijk om soms kapitaal te vinden. Omdat je eigenlijk impact-investeerders nodig hebt die begrijpen dat je wel een BV bent of kan zijn, met toch een maatschappelijke doelstelling. Een heel bekend voorbeeld is Taxi Electric. Dat is een Nederlands een Amsterdamse taxibedrijf die dus rijdt op alleen maar met elektrische auto's, maar ook 55-plussers probeert herintreding op de arbeidsmarkt te realiseren. En ik geloof dat we op een gegeven moment in gesprek waren met de gemeente Amsterdam. En als je kijkt naar wat het de gemeente oplevert, zeg maar, op zowel milieuaspect als minder mensen die thuis zitten zonder werk, die niet meer aan de baan komen van 55 plus, dan levert het de gemeente heel veel op. Ja. Alleen het is misschien wel €2 per ritje, ik roep maar wat, duurder. En het probleem is dat er heel bekende de silo's van de gemeente moeilijk overheen gekeken kan worden. Dus als de impact ergens anders ligt, namelijk bij sociale zaken of bij milieu, dan is het moeilijk omdat er gewoon heel veel regels zijn. De gemeenten moeten gewoon de goedkoopste kiezen eigenlijk.
Because you obviously deal with green energy, I normally find that like when I was at home, getting green energy was normally hard enough, but like getting it for a good price was like the most difficult part of it. So like, because do you maintain like cheap green energy or like?
Yeah, I think so. Like for green energy, we're relatively cheap.
Okay, like from a banking's perspective, like I just find it hard to understand like how sustainability and banking can go hand in hand. So like for example, like how do you keep like an interest rate and stuff like that?
We do keep an interest rate because we still invest, of course, in projects, only in sustainable one. So our interest does tend to be a little lower than those of other banks.
Okay,
But that is because we have less options to invest our savings money. But it is because we only select investment opportunities which match our criteria.
As you have seen, we decided to test the Green Prisoner's Dilemma through calling various businesses to ask them directly questions over this problem. Following this, we also decided to conduct an experiment that drew from a test guided by Stanford University. Here we would test consumers' behaviours around sustainable shopping. In doing so, we decided to ask a couple of friends, giving them choices between sustainable and non-sustainable products, ranging from the tech industry to the clothing industry and food. At first, we asked how much they were willing to pay for a sustainable chocolate, with the average price of non-sustainable chocolate quoted at €1.50. Secondly, we did the same but with sporting shirts, suggesting that the average price was €80. Finally, we did the same with 2 mobile phones, suggesting the average price was €500 to then discover what their ethical margin is.
Well, because chocolate is not something that you need like every day, I think I would like I can spend a little bit more, so like €1 or $1.50 maybe extra.
Maybe $2.50.
When it comes to clothing, I would probably say maybe be willing to pay about 5-10% more. Again, it's all about cost.
Okay.
This one was €80.
Yeah. Let's say you have to buy, either the €80 one, or how much would you place on the sustainable
one? I suppose it would be like €110.
Okay, yeah.
So maybe €10 extra or something?
Okay.
Yeah. So €500, well, maybe €100 extra?
Okay.
Something like that?
Yeah, perfect.
I'm guessing 600.
Okay, 100 extra.
Yeah, it really doesn't do anything extra.
No, it's like exactly the same. You're paying just for the sustainability.
Just for the idea.
Yeah. Okay, so 100.
Yeah,
that's perfect.
Now doing such larger proportions of money, I definitely would say no difference.
No difference at all?
Yeah, I would. It's all on the price for me.
After asking a couple of friends, we then went out into the public, where we wanted to again test the ethical margin, asking how much extra they would be willing to pay for their shopping bags worth of items if they were all to be sustainable.
Zou je eventueel een schatting kunnen geven wat je net hebt uitgegeven?
€34,79 geloof ik.
Okay. En zaten er ook duurzame producten tussen?
Denk het niet.
Nee?
Nee.
Als je alles... Oké, Als je nu alles duurzaam zou kopen, hoeveel meer dan €34 had je dan willen uitgeven?
Ja, dat is een goede vraag. Ik denk een paar euro meer, maar niet heel veel meer eigenlijk.
Oké, dus een paar euro, dus misschien 37?
Ja, 37, 38 euro. Ja.
As we have seen, the results seem to show that the lower the original price of the product, the more the consumer is willing to pay extra for the sustainable goods. This represented that there is a maximum margin, which is higher when the product is cheaper. We also asked Social Enterprise about this given fact. In response, Clara mentioned that one of their partners is the sustainable supermarket Markt. Markt faces as well challenges with their aim to change the supermarket landscape.
Maar het is moeilijk en het is niet voor iedereen betaalbaar. Dus dat is ook wel een ding natuurlijk. Maar ik denk dat de prijzen van Markt veel dichterbij staan de werkelijke prijs van onze eten dan een andere supermarkt.
So as we have seen, for-profit sustainable organizations in highly competitive markets face increasingly difficult ethical standards to meet. Sustainable companies are hereby facing the green prisoner's dilemma concerning ethical price margins, which our experiment and the Stanford experiment shows us. The Stanford experiment, which looked at coffee, showed that an increase in 9% of the price led to the fair trade sustainable coffee to a 30% decline in purchases. These forces could explain why even sustainable companies are only taking incremental steps towards fully sustainable practices. Hereby, as a sustainable company, you aim to meet the mass market expectations, but you need to maintain as well an ethical image. This two-folded approach could lead to the dilemma, as we have mentioned above.
Ik denk dat er heel veel sociale ondernemingen kiezen voor een organische groei. Dus dat is misschien, ik weet niet of je dat een concessie kan noemen, maar omdat je werkt met mensen met afstand tot de arbeidsmarkt of omdat je ook altijd bewust bent van je footprint, moet je dus misschien afzien van te snelle groei, omdat je dat niet netjes kan organiseren binnen de waarden of de normen en waarden die je hanteert.
Het gaat echt om geld. En we moeten gewoon overleven. Want een duurzaam bedrijf, economisch gezien duurzaam, heeft ook gewoon zijn inkomen nodig. En ik heb ook echt een van de moeilijke dingen waar je tegenaan loopt. Dus ook op het moment dat je de mensen in je eigen bedrijf niet kan betalen, dan is het financieren van een sociaal programma in China ineens niet meer zo'n hele hoge prioriteit.
As we have shown, the discourse of sustainable development has given rise to new sustainable companies who have their best intentions concerning sustainability. It has forced incumbents to widely incorporate CSR policies in their practices. Nevertheless, this discourse faces drawbacks. This is because it is non-binding and built around voluntary norms. This has been represented through the dilemma that we have shown. Nevertheless, as a solution, we would like to draw upon another discourse combined with sustainable development. This is called economic rationalism. This discourse allows for an intelligent deployment of market mechanisms to achieve public ends. One commonly used instrument looks to green taxes. These taxes should be based on the externalities that companies produce. Moreover, companies who are producing positive externalities could benefit from subsidies. In doing so, the public will pay the fair price and so will businesses. Of course, this will rely upon the green consciousness becoming a global phenomenon. So we are directly calling upon yourself to be green, where together we can make the world green again.